Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Call of Duty 4 Remastered veteran walkthrough. This is mission 4, and it's titled The Bog. So at the very beginning here, if you push up with your people to get down the right hand side of this building, you can avoid a bit of a shit show just there. That is a section where you can get shot a lot or you don't get shot at all. It's kind of confusing, but as long as you get the checkpoint, you'll be okay. Still worse on the first version of this game, so take a shot, but I died there, so it tells you that you can actually get lit up, which is nice to see, because it's refreshing, in a game where you always get lit up, and then you don't in this one, which is weird. Anyhow, the Bog is kind of a famous level. It's famous more for the multiplayer than anything else, but it's also a pretty interesting one. We're using the night vision mechanic here, which is nowhere near as effective as it was in the previous mission, where we're in the house and the enemies couldn't see you. I think the enemies here have better optics. Speaking of optics, one of my criticisms of COD 4 was that there was never enough of diversity of the weapons that the enemies dropped. The enemies will always drop weapons with reticles on them every single time, and it's never the reticle that you want. By the way, if you beat this guy to the top of the stairs and shoot him, you'll get an achievement for saving, like, Private Blazkowicz or something. The guy who's just there, I forget his name, it's something specific. And then up here there is a trio of bad people. So strip them down with the AK, because the AK is god tier, and all these walls can be fired through, and the AK is beautiful at putting bullets through walls. So this is a great opportunity to practice for the multiplayer, and just, there's me putting a couple of bullets over there. God, I love this weapon, I love everything about it. It doesn't sound too bad either, I don't think it quite sounds like it used to, because a lot of the audio in this game has been subtly changed, some of it has been overtly changed, and it has changed for the worst. Which is one of the things that bugs me the most about this remaster. I could have told you exactly what gun somebody was using because of the sound of COD 4, just by listening to it. I could have told you where that person was just by listening to it, in relation to a multiplayer map. And the sound now has been changed so drastically that they've absolutely nerfed footsteps, and then they've made certain guns sound different and updated certain sounds, and the updated sounds sound worse. And I have no idea why you would change these iconic noises, because to me, they should have left it alone. Make it look prettier, but do not change anything except for the bugs. Fix the bugs, leave it the same. Like, this game didn't need so much tinkering. They've tinkered too much. They've added weird things. Like in the multiplayer, when you call in your kill streaks. Calling in your kill streaks has a very specific piece of equipment in the player's hand. In the new version, he's pulling out iPads and shit. Don't pull out iPads. iPads didn't exist when this game came out, and if they did, you know, you were very privileged. But like, no. Don't pull out things you don't pull out, game. Use the things that COD 4 used. That's why I bought this game. Well, technically, I didn't buy this game. I bought Infinite Warfare, because you couldn't buy this game, because Activision are assholes. But, like, no. Just leave it alone. Leave it as it was, and then fix the problems, and that's all you do, guys. That's all you do in a remaster. We don't want a reimagining, we don't want you to ruin our childhood, and that's exactly what they've done for a lot of people who were really into it. Like, the knife detection in this game is bad. The knife detection was always kind of weird, I'll give you that much, but there are times in this where you knife somebody and it misses. The knife didn't miss. If anything, it had too much range. It was kind of bullshit for the bad reasons. Now, they've gimped it, which, don't get me wrong, I never liked one-hit kill knives. I never liked one-hit kill melees. I've never been a big fan of melee stuff. Look at the fucking CPU trying to kill me. Hate the clipping as well. They didn't fix the clipping, did they? Change my favourite gun noise, keep the shitty clipping. GG, dev people. But at this moment right now, go and get the javelin. It's at the beginning where we started this area. You don't have to kill these people. I was just shooting at them because I was stunned that the G3 is automatic in the campaign, and I completely forgot that G3, M16, automatic fire in the campaign, which is baffling to me because I'm so used to the multiplayer. But just go get the javelin and take out the tanks. You can even get an achievement for doing it. But another thing I like about COD 4, the compass at the bottom. The compass was really nice because it's not stuck in your eye, so they're not constantly poking at you and telling you to go somewhere. You don't have NPCs that are just like, this way, dickhead, what are you doing? Follow me. It's just the compass. It shows you where you're facing and it shows you where your objective is, and you can follow your objective or you can ignore it like I'm doing, because I'm just shooting these dudes and having a good time. But this is an infinite spawn, so I'm actually achieving nothing right now. So I'm going to go and hopefully pick up the javelin, Chris. Pick up the javelin, you gimp. There he goes, he's telling me. And speaking of bog, seeing as how that's the level we're on, the spawns in COD 4, some are legendary. They're absolutely legendary because they were not fragile. They were kind of crazy at how they worked. And if you're not aware, the quickest way to explain it to you was you could run around the enemy spawn and the enemies would continue to spawn there. But if you stayed too long or you pushed too deep, you would break the spawn and it would move and flip alternatively. That doesn't happen in Call of Duty anymore. The spawns now are so fickle, you cannot actively control them the same way unless you play something like Domination and you 2-cap and you spawn trap. But it's nowhere near the same level of flexibility that COD 4 allowed. COD could enable a good player to actively hunt the spawns and do massive work without ever breaking the spawn, so he could continually understand where enemies were going to be and exploit it by getting into better positions and killing them. And don't get me wrong, if you were on the edge of a player who knew what he was doing, it could get real miserable. Check out a guy called X-Socrates. The dude was an absolute master at reading the spawns, putting pressure on the spawns, and decimating enemy teams. It's one of my all-time favourite Call of Duty players. And that's what you could do on Bog. Bog was brutal. We're in it right now, by the way. This is Bog. And you'll notice I've not even been shot yet. This isn't Veteran. Take a shot. I even paused it, guys! This isn't Veteran. You pause the video up in the top right, it says Veteran, we're on Veteran, but it ain't Veteran. Take another shot, since I'm mentioning it so much. But this map right now is the multiplayer map Bog. And if you push to where I am at this point, if you stay around the hillside, you can actively shoot into their spawn and put some real pressure on them with the M16. Because the M16 is a laser, it is a death-dealing god gun, and you can do damage on Bog. That grenade just then actually hit the guy on the mounted gun. But what I'm going to do, folks, is I got killed by one of my own grenades thanks to an ally blocking my path. So I'm going to edit the footage together, but I'm going to keep that grenade kill in because I thought that grenade was wonderful. And that's one of the things I love about COD 4. If you know how to throw grenades on this game, you can put a grenade anywhere on this map. And because this is a multiplayer map, I know exactly how to put grenades where I want them to be. So it's kind of a beautiful thing. And it's one of the things they did right, because I don't think they affected the grenades too much. They might have changed the radius, but it doesn't really matter in campaign because they're still nukes. But the spawns on Bog were legendary. I have 40 kill TDMs on this map. You know, multiple games where I go 30 and 5 or 27 and 8 or something like that. Consistent decimation on Bog. I have a video on my channel that's called Bog is a Euphemism for Rape. Which just goes to show A, how old that video is, and B, how bad Bog could be when you had an M16 and you decimated the team. Now, the spawns are horrific. The spawns are so bad, they have completely ruined Call of Duty spawns, and COD 4 had the best spawns in my opinion, because they were crazy, but they could be controlled. And there's nothing wrong with that. The only people who didn't like the spawns in this game were the people who A, liked to camp, or B, were on the receiving end of a shit pumping. And that's just how it was, you know, sometimes it happens. But now, if you push to the middle, you've already flipped the spawn, and they're spawning behind your spawn, and then when they kill you from behind, you spawn behind them. It's absolutely staggeringly bad. Whatever they've done, they thought they were changing for the better, they have ruined things that made sense. And you are talking about players who have hundreds of hours of muscle memory of how those spawns worked, and they don't work the same anymore, so it's completely miserable. I don't get it, guys. I don't get why would you change something that worked. You know, why? Why do this? And then leave in glitches that didn't work. Did you know putting an attachment on the AK-47 lowered its damage? No matter what it was, lowered its damage. Why? Why would putting a grenade launcher on this gun make the bullet do less damage? It doesn't make sense. It was a glitch, and they didn't fix that, but they fucked up the spawns. That to me ain't a remaster, that's pissing on the Mona Lisa.